my first time and I'm super nervous, but my friend was like, come on man, let's do it, it's gonna be fun. Thank you.
It is fun!
You're right, it is fun. He's like, oh, all right. I'm thinking like, I do this little equation in my head, I'm like, I have really bad stage fright, plus there's a whole bunch of people staring at me and judging me. That sounds like a great time, you know? But yeah, I decided to come here, just decided to come up next, rip it off like a Band-Aid, a really humiliating, judging Band-Aid. And I'm like, I guess I'll try it, and I'll try to talk about what's ever on my head. So I'm thinking to myself, في إيه في دماغ الشباب? I'm like, no, can't talk about that one. Can't talk about that one either. That's the first of the same one, but just different positions. And so I decided to talk about this. I lived in America before, and I don't like how the Western world views women in our world. They say that women are unequal, and I don't agree with that. Like for instance, they say that, oh, well, women have no jobs, they get paid less or whatever. That's not true. Like for instance, I went to Sigil al-Madani to make a bita'a, right? Guess what? All women. And so I enter, right? I go in, all women, and I go into to the first madame, they're all madamet. And I go in, and I'm like, of course, first thing is that she's paying no attention to me at all, which is harder than you think. Like, have you ever been mad at someone, and like they're sitting right in front of you, but you want to let them know you're mad? Like you're always talking to everyone else, like pretend like you're having the greatest time ever. You're like, oh, I remember that? Remember that? Yeah, that happened, yeah. And then this invisible force just starts pulling you towards them. And then you stare, and then it's awkward. But then you stare away and you start talking about whatever else. And the person totally doesn't know you're mad. But yeah, she's not paying attention to me at all. And first thing she has to do is to refer me to whoever else is there. And so she doesn't have to do her work. So I'm like, oh, لو سمحت عايز اعمل بطاقة. مدام أشجان آخر الطرقة شمال. I'm like, wait, what? I'm sorry, what you say? مدام أشجان آخر الطرقة شمال. ليه ما بتسمعش؟ So I believe her. I go to Madame Ashgan. Of course, Madame Ashgan is the nicest person you'll ever see. And also, of course, Madame Ashgan is not the one who helps you. She's like, حبيبي عايزي. I'm like, عايز أعمل بطاقة بس. للأسف, you have to go back. You have to go back to the first lady you were at, Madame. And I'm expecting the beast's name to be like Fatakat or Nahmedu or Matis Alish or something like that. And she's like, you have to go back to Madame Russia. Her name's Russia. Seriously? And so I go back, and of course, whenever you go back, it's always lunchtime. Like, even though I left her 2 minutes ago, she decided to bring out her lunch. And it's always the smelliest stuff on earth, like شوربة توم ببصلة or شوربة بصل متومة. حاجة كريهة كده يعني. And so I ask her, like, here comes the part where she asks you about ridiculous forms that you have to have with you. She's like, oh, عاد شقة جوز بنت خالتك فين؟ I'm prepared. I have every ridiculous thing. She's like, oh, شهادة ميلاد ابن أختك الوسطاني thing. I'm like, yeah. And then she has to request something to end it. Like, she tries to end it as quickly as possible. She's like, second thing في المعادي. روح اسم نويبة هات لي فيش وتشبيه. And I'm like, I'm prepared. I'm like, I have this, right? There you go. And then like, she tries to like, she's all out of tricks. She realizes she has to do her job. And then she looks at the clock. She's like, يعني احنا بنقفل الساعة 5 وجاي لي الساعة 1:30 وعايز نعمل لك بطاقة في نفس اليوم. ايه القرف ده؟ And so, but one thing that, even though equality is all around us now, women can do everything men can. You can clap if you want to. Yeah, hell yeah, there you go. There's always something that'll differentiate us. There's always something that will keep men apart from women. And of course, I'm talking about the monthly gift. The curse of Eve, if you will. And I don't think you should call it the curse of Eve. I think it's the best thing to ever happen. Like, imagine you're talking to your girl. It doesn't have to be your girlfriend. You're just talking, right? And they're all cute. They're like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. All right, okay, fine. You hang up. No, you hang up. All right, click. Because I don't do cute. I'm already cute enough as it is.
Yeah!
No?
Yes, next time!
Thank you. I think we should just be friends. But anyways. So and you meet her the next day, and she's in the worst mood ever. She like just like has a fit about the littlest things, right? She's just like, "Ana kuntaisa merinda yusi mishwitsi yuski." God, and she leaves. You're like, "What is wrong with you, little bit?" And then before you continue, like your friend has to come. They're like, "Dude, she's probably that time a month again." I'm like, pause. It's so insensitive, man. This girl's our friend. But you know, he has a good point. I can't, but I can't tell him that's insensitive. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. So, but men don't have something like that. Like imagine like a guy just treats a girl like crap and leaves. Like they automatically think he's a jerk. He has no reason. But imagine like if a girl, like a friend of hers came up to her and was like, hey, his PlayStation broke down last night. Be nice to him. All right, be nice to him. But yeah, and also we don't understand the whole monthly gift thing, and we don't understand what goes on. I'll tell you why we don't understand what goes on. The commercials, like for instance, they're all the same thing. Like this woman's always like sad or whatever, and her friend comes to talk to her, and she's like, oh, and then blah blah blah, and in the end she's like, oh, that's not because that's because you're not using the right type, you freaking idiot. And then like this commercial comes up, right? And then they're explaining how it works. There's always like a highlight of the design. There's always some sort of arrow that shows that the air comes in and comes out at the same time. It's amazing. Like, I didn't know that could happen. And then, you know, they open it up and it has wings, I guess, to stay aerodynamic. I'm not sure really why they have wings. But yeah, and then like they have wings and all that. And then the most confusing part ever happens, right? They take out this cup, and it's full of this blue stuff, right? And they pour it on there. I have a question for the women. Is it blue? Is it? Because that's not what I learned. Like, is it? I took science. But yeah, and you might be wondering, wait, what does that mean again? My time is up? All right, I just have one last question. Why do skydivers wear helmets? Thank you.